Hi there. This is about sensory-sensitive show creation, and I had a second idea, so I wanted to let people know about fast, accurate SRT captioning that I also have been working with in the last year. So, I'm Heather Preston. I'm the Planetarium Director at Calusa Nature Center and Planetarium in Fort Myers, Florida. And we have a great many underserved students who visit us in field trips, as well as many students who are on the spectrum or have sensory issues. We also have veterans who have sensory issues. Originally, we had intended to create a program of sensory-sensitive fireworks that we could share for the 4th of July last year in 2022. And I did some research, and I found that other people had sensory-sensitive fireworks shows, but they mostly had taken them, basically by getting fireworks videos from YouTube, slowing them down, and playing them with the sound turned way down. I decided I could do better than that by not including other people's fireworks, but actually creating something from scratch. I found a free Microsoft app from 2011 called Touch Fireworks, and I created the band-in-a-box music that I needed to do, basically a very calm, patriotic background music kind of thing that if I needed to, I could talk over, but I didn't really need to. Once I got my soundtrack in shape, I was able to listen to the soundtrack and use the app in concert with the soundtrack. You really have to get the feel for the slow bloom of the Touch Fireworks. There's a built-in delay. So eventually, once you've figured out what the delay is, and you can anticipate the crescendos in the music, you can get some pretty good synchronization going, which is nice. The other thing was the mirrored video. The video comes out as a rectangle, and it has a fake horizon with trees and houses and things. I didn't want to use that, and I wanted to be able to adapt it to full dome without having to warp it, because we have no budget for Adobe After Effects or anything like that. So I mirrored the video vertically, and I chopped off the background houses, etc., from the edges, and that worked just fine. So that was how it became full dome, and also why it's mirrored vertically. Okay, this is the next thing that I decided to do was a December show, because we just like having special seasonal shows for the sensory kids. In between times, it's mostly any show that you have that is good for kids, that you can show with the lights somewhat up and the sound turned down pretty low. Because there's no solid wall. Those are all kind of requirements for sensory sensitive kids, and that keeps them from having to wear the headphones that will dull the noise, and allowing the lights to be up keeps them from feeling anxious. So I found a source for full dome images of auroras online and from a research site, and I basically poured through years and years of those and culled the best ones I could find, and I've been writing a script to go with it. Now last year I kind of winged it, which is pretty inert, but I've got some new footage, and this year I'm going to actually complete it with a written script. I'm using Kevin MacLeod's background music because his stuff is free license under Creative Commons. And that's pretty much it. There's a clip that's about to start too. Is due to nitrogen in the Earth's atmosphere. And that happens down at the lower parts of the curtain, where the atmosphere is denser, and then the nitrogen dominates. But up high, all of that fantastic activity you're seeing, with the red and the green and the ruffles, that's all due to oxygen. Now, sometimes we can see purple and blue as well. And the purple and the blue usually come from the lowest altitudes, and those are due to nitrogen. If you have red, green, and blue, you can make almost any color. And so you'll see yellow and pink and all kinds of other colors up there as you watch. Typically what's happening is that the charged particles from the solar wind are encountering Earth's magnetic field, which normally is a great protection for us from all kinds of charged particles from space. The magnetic field, however, comes in at the poles, at the North Pole and the South Pole, kind of the way an apple is shaped. And so those charged particles from the solar wind move along the magnetic field lines, and they wind up encountering the atoms and molecules in Earth's atmosphere in a kind of a big circle centered on the north and south magnetic poles. And when they encounter those atoms and molecules, they excite the electrons in them to higher energy levels, and when those electrons drop back down, they let off light. And the light is what we see as the aurora. The final one was an accessibility project that we've needed for quite some time to bring us into ADA compliance. It's okay to have an assisted listening system, ALS, but we only have a limited number of headsets, and those only work for people who are not completely deaf. So we really need subtitles on all of our shows. Now, there are quite a few shows that come out that are free that do not come with subtitles. And I was looking for an alternative to trying to use Google speech to text and put in the time stamps myself, which is easy enough, but it's time consuming. And you have to go back over and over the video to make sure you get your timings right and all of that. It was not worth my time to do it. So I found an astonishingly accurate AI-based system online for $10 an hour. They will do SRT files or transcripts or whatever it is that you want, which is extremely useful. And that comes out to anywhere between $3 and $5 per show, given that most shows are between 20 and 30 minutes. Some are going to be longer. So I've provided a link that I hope you will use if you decide to sign up for this service, because not only will it give you 100 free minutes, it'll also give us 100 free minutes, which would be awesome if even one person did it. I would love to have 100 free minutes because we have no budget for this stuff. I have to ask every month for additional funds to do the next set of SRT files. Okay, that's pretty much it. If anybody wants to just pull the fireworks show or the aurora show when it's done, just get in touch with me. I've put my email address up on the main slide. So it's heather@calusanature.org. So that's spelled like Calusa nature.org. Hope to hear from you. Thank you.